Hey y'all, it's me Alex. Today I'm doing a review in 3 looks of the Melt Cosmetics Radioactive Palette. I've been trying to get this one up for a couple weeks. I've been playing around with this palette a whole lot and I have some thoughts. So I got this from Sephora, well Case got it for me from Sephora, and it's what I'm wearing on my eyes today, and I have 2 more looks that I'm including towards the end of this video. And I have a lot of mixed feelings about this because I had been wanting this for a while. I've always wanted to try something from Melt, and they just never really quite made anything that appealed to me perfectly, but this really fit the bill, I think, because I love bright colors, as you well know, and I thought that this would be a really fun color story to play with. And I really do love this color story. I think you can get a lot of great looks out of it, and you can kind of see, you'll see in the demos how it performs, but I have some critiques for the shades. So these 4 here are from the original Melt Radioactive stack that kind of blew up the internet a couple years ago, and I really like these 4 shades. I think they were done really, really well. I have no trouble using any of those 4, and I kind of find that when I'm using just those 4 shades, they tend to play really well on my eyes, and I end up liking whatever look that I end up doing. Neon could be a little bit brighter, but I am the kind of person who I really like to pack on my eyeshadow, so I don't necessarily see that as like a bad thing because I can just build it up pretty easily. Now, as for these 4, these are the newer shades. These are actually the 4 shades that I'm wearing on my eyes right now. And I have some mixed feelings about them. I do really like Arsenic and Uranium. They're both shimmers, and I really love the colors. One thing I have noticed with this palette is the shimmers aren't as soft as one would expect, and there also aren't a lot of true mattes. I don't necessarily think that's a problem. I'm using Hazmat in my crease, and that one is it's pretty shimmery, but I still think that this look turned out pretty good. But I do really like Arsenic and Uranium. As for Meltdown and Hazmat, I like Hazmat a bit more than I like Meltdown, but both of them, the darker shades I just kind of noticed are a bit more on the patchy side in this palette. I had done a look off camera using Meltdown kind of like as a gigantic winged cut crease type shade, and I wore it all day. I got compliments and whatever, but every time I looked in the mirror it just looked so patchy, and I wasn't even doing it with like a big fluffy brush. I was basically just like packing it on and trying to blend it out, but every time I blended it out it would kind of go away. It's performing really well along my lower lash line here, so I think that it might just be one that you can't use all over the place like you would a lot of other shades. So take that as you will. Hazmat, I kind of have the same problems with. Hazmat is a little bit easier to work with, so I don't have that problem quite as much, but it's still there sometimes, so I can use that as a little bit easier of a crease shade. I don't necessarily mind that though, because in thinking about the shades that I have a lot more of in my collection, I do have a lot more on the blue, teal, purple end of the spectrum in my collection, so I'm not gonna go to Meltdown if I want to use a teal shade by any means. I love teal, and so this was really disappointing of a teal shade. Obviously, you can tell I love teal. So that was disappointing, but I do have enough other teal eyeshadows in my collection that I don't think that that's gonna be too much of an issue. Same with Hazmat. I love purple eyeshadow. I have that entire Menagerie Cosmetics Violet Ink palette that is an all purple palette, so I'm not exactly wanting for purples. So those 2 aren't necessarily a problem, but I did want to point that out, that if you are interested in this palette but are largely more interested in it for kind of these shades, you're gonna be a bit disappointed. Like even Uranium, I really like it. It's what I have on my inner corner, but I expected it to be a little bit lighter when applied than it was. I think it's still a really lovely shade, but it doesn't function as well as an inner corner highlight as I would like. And that's the other criticism I kind of have of this palette. While we have like this gorgeous neon yellow shade, there really aren't a whole lot of inner corner highlights, so while I have an abundance of eyeshadows, especially bright and colorful ones, that I can bring in to kind of use as an inner corner highlight, there also isn't a brow bone shade, but you know, white eyeshadow totally doesn't exist anywhere else, you know. But I did want to let y'all know that if you are not someone with a lot of lighter bright eyeshadows, or something that you would be worried about doing an inner corner highlight with this, that is definitely something that you have to look out for, because I know that probably other people might do their eyeshadow a bit differently than me, but what I really like to do in colorful eye looks, I don't like to just do like a white neutral inner corner. I like to have, you know, a little pop of something, and this doesn't quite do it for me. For me, these 4 shades just perform so well, and the color theory just really works really well together. And I also really like the combination of Radioactive and Hazmat. I think those two blend well together as well. I'm gonna say the word well a lot here. Yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. So if you're more interested in it for these 4 shades, I would say it's not a bad investment, but you might be a bit disappointed when it comes to the blues and greens. So now that I have said all of that, I'm just gonna get into the 3 looks because I need to go eat some lunch. I am hungry. So take it away, Pastelics. Okay, so I've already primed my eyes for this first look. I kind of want to do a pretty simple but bold look. So I'm going to begin by just taking the hot pink shade here, Radioactive, and I'm going to put that all over my lid. I'm basically kind of going to put this on my lid and then blend it out with the orange shade in the palette to just create a very bold and bright look. And this will be pretty low effort too. Okay, so now just to blend this out, I'm going to use the shade Radon on the fluffy end of this Anastasia Beverly Hills brush that came, I think, in the Jackie Aina palette. I don't know, all the brushes look the same to me. And I'm kind of blending that into my outer corner as well. Since these colors are within the same color family, they blend out really, really easily. Okay, so that was extremely easy, and that's honestly all I want to do on the top part of my eyes, so I'm gonna go and do my face really quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'd say that was a pretty easy face, so now I'm going to work on my lower lash line. So I'm going to take the shade Radon here, and I'm just going to fluff that underneath so it kind of matches my crease. I'm not doing anything too fancy. And I'm kind of keeping that towards the outer corner. And then what I want to do on my inner corner and also like in the inner part of my lower lash line, I'm going to just kind of take neon on a very small detail brush. This is a brush that came in the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette. And I'm just going to kind of press everything along there. I'm just going to blend a little bit more of Radon in the middle. And I'm just very quickly going to use a white shadow and put that all over my brow bone. Now, because I want to add something a little bit funky to this look, I don't really feel like doing eyeliner, but I did want to use a glitter. So I'm using this like pink and orange one from the Slayfire and Crypt Fairy collab. I'm pretty certain this isn't available anymore, but I kind of just want to pack that all over my lid to add some visual interest. Ooh! Probably should have done this before I went and did my face because like glitter fallout, but whatever. Now I need to clean off my face, but I think that's pretty much it for my eyes, so I'm gonna do my mascara and my lipstick and clear the excess glitter off, and I'll be right back. Okay, so for my lips I used this just like clear gloss from Fluid because I kind of don't really have any like color products that would necessarily go super well with this look, at least in my opinion. You might be able to figure out something better than me and be better at like color theory than me, but this is what I got and I'm really happy with it. So this is the first look. Okay, so I've already primed my eyes and I kind of want to make this eye look match my earrings a bit. So I'm going to begin by taking the shade Xenon and I'm going to put that towards the inner part of my crease. I kind of want to do a cut crease type look with some greens and purples here, so I'm just gonna begin with that. My eyes are very much stained from my makeup yesterday. Not from this palette, surprisingly. From another one, but... And then just so I can deepen that up a bit, I'm going to take the shade Meltdown here, that teal shade on that same brush, and I'm just tapping into it ever so slightly. And I'm just going to kind of put that closer to the crease. Okay, and now for the outer portion of my eyes, I'm going to take Hazmat, and I'm going to put that in my crease and in my outer corner. Okay, so now I want to use like that lavendery shade in the palette kind of all over my lid. So I'm going to cut my crease using my Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas in Halo. And where's the brush I use for that, Emily? I'm just taking it on this tiny little brush. If you've never seen me cut my crease before, now's your chance. I'm just putting this all over where I'm gonna want this to go. I'm gonna look up. There we go. And I got a little bit on my mirror, so I'm going to just do that on this side as well. And now I'm just going to take the shade Uranium on a flat brush. And pardon my nails, they look awful. But I'm just going to put that all over where I put the white base. Okay, and I'm just going to take a bit more of Hazmat and use that to blend out the outer corner. Okay, so before I go any further to do my lower lash line, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face really quickly. Okay, so there are leaf blowers going on outside, but I'm not pausing this video for anything, because that would just be unproductive to me. So I'm going to go back with the shade Hazmat, and I'm going to put that towards the outer corner of my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take the shade Xenon here, and I'm going to put that on the inner portion of my lower lash line. Here's hoping it shows up like I want it to. And so to kind of just deepen that up, I'm gonna take Meltdown and put that closer to like my lash line portion of that. Okay, I'm not entirely in love with this look, but I also have no time to redo anything, so I'm gonna get something that I'm gonna use on my inner corner real quick. Okay, so for my inner corner highlight, I'm just going to take a lavender duochrome shade and just pop that in there because I didn't want to use like the what is that color called? Yellow from the Radioactive palette, because I felt like that would be a bit too much for this look, and this isn't too bad. It's not my favorite, but anyway. So now I want to finish off this look kind of on my own, so I'm going to do some liner and lashes and lipstick, and I'm going to be right back. Hopefully the liner will cover up some of like the outer corner patchiness. Okay, so I added some liner and mascara, and I think it helps in some ways, although I didn't quite get the liner on this side how I wanted it to, but I have rehearsal in like 15 minutes, so we're just gonna ignore that. The lip gloss I'm using is a Fluid lip gloss in Mood Ring, which I think goes really well. I'm not entirely happy with this look, but I did like the first look a lot better. So yeah, let me just move on to the next one and hope that that one turns out how I want it. Okay, so this is going to be my last look. I am going to begin by taking Hazmat on this e.l.f. blending eye brush. I think that's what it's called. A little precise baby right here. And I'm going to kind of work that into a halo eye shape. Just kind of starting off in the crease, and then I'm going to work it into the inner and outer corners. And I'm gonna also work it up into the brow bone because I really do like having the like dramatic shadow blended up pretty far. I know a lot of other people might have different feelings on that, but that's what I really like doing. Okay, so for my lid shade, I really want to use this shade Arsenic here, this really lovely teal aqua shade. So I'm just gonna pop that on the center there. And then I'm just going to go back with a little bit of Hazmat to kind of blend out the corners. I mean the edges, corners, whatever. Okay, so very quickly before I kind of go in and do the rest of it, I am going to just do my face really quick. Okay, so now that all of that is finished, I also do want to note I did add a little bit of a white shade on to my brow bone. There weren't really any highlighting shades in this palette. Also, my hair is like sticking out, I'm just realizing that, so that's great. Love it. Okay, I am now going to go on with the shade Meltdown along my lower lash line. I'm a little bit nervous about this one because I know it can be kind of on the patchy side. Okay, that's not too bad, working as a lower lash line shade. Okay, and now for my inner corner highlight, I'm just gonna go in with Uranium, and I'm gonna hope that's light enough. Okay, that's not like super highlighty, but I think it'll do. Okay, so now I'm going to just go in with some mascara and lip something or other, and I'll be right back. Okay, and so for my lips, I used the Fluid gloss in the shade Spectrum. I think I might have ended up using a Fluid gloss for all of the looks that I've done with this palette, but I think it works really well, and this is the finished third look. Alright y'all, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe down below if you want to see more videos from me, and I will see you on my next one. Hope you'll have a wonderful day. Bye!